Okay. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, I hope I'm not seeing stuff. Hello, testing, testing. Okay. Okay. I think it's good. Hi, great. Okay. For those, wait, I think I'm hearing some echo. Hello, great. Because okay, I may be hearing some echo from somewhere, but okay, great. Hello, Raj. Hello, great. So it's nice seeing everyone here. Okay, I'm hearing double voice. I hope you guys are not hearing any echo because I'm hearing some echo here. Hello. So I know some of you guys is a bit like late at this time. So feel free to excuse yourself. Hello. Okay, so I'm actually streaming live at few places at one time right now. There's one on Facebook, there's one on YouTube, and there's one on Instagram. Okay, so probably you'll be seeing either one. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, okay. I hope everything is fine. So adjust your camera, almost cutting your head. Okay, it's my screen. Hello. Okay, I have too many devices here. I'm a bit confused. All right, so I'm glad to see everyone here tonight. And I'm going to go very quickly. And for those who are in YouTube, hello. And for those who are at Facebook, hi from every screen here. Okay. Right, so welcome and thank you for being here today with me. So let's hope all the technical have no issues, then everything will go smoothly. So without further ado, again, let me first record this down just so in case. Okay, so thank you guys for coming in tonight. As far as I know there are many like ongoing webinars going on right now. Like today itself, I have like 3, I think, right? So people are all spread everywhere tonight. So you know what? I'm just gonna begin the webinar tonight, right? So for those who are new here with me, let me just first introduce myself. My name is Esther, and I'm not sure whether you have been in my previous webinar like 2 weeks ago or so. Okay, so that was really the part 1 of the whole webinar, and this could be continuous, the part 2. So I'm going to be talking slightly different or what today's topic is. As you can see, today is slightly more technical. So myself, let me introduce myself first. Wandered off a little bit. My name is Esther. Okay, and I'm the founder of EC Metaphysics. Myself, I'm a pharmacist, also a health consultant in bracket. Of course, a Chinese metaphysics consultant, a coach, and a trainer. So I also practice yoga and pranayam instructor. So that's it about me. I'm also a disciple of TCM. Okay, so that's what I do. Right. So enough about me. I'm not gonna share too much about myself. You can find out more later. And I think for those who were at my session 2 weeks ago, you probably know a lot about me now. Okay, so please let me know how many of you guys here actually went or attended a consult before. Anyone here actually attended a consult before, a bazi consult before? Anyone? If you have done a proper bazi consult before, please type 1 at the chat box. Please type 1 at the chat box. if you have attended any form of bazi consult or any sort of fortune reading session, doesn't matter, 20 years ago or recently or years before, okay, please type one. Okay, please type one. Yeah, okay. Yes, okay. So I think it's quite common, yeah. So basically, most of you guys here, I believe, have attended, okay. And of course, when we all attend, even I've attended a couple of consults before, and I want to share with you, right? This is my experience, okay, and possibly also why I choose to master this art, because I went for consult. Okay, that's not the reason why, right? So most people like us and for you guys, I believe when you go for a consult, it's because there are some issues that you're trying to solve. Okay, like just like me, even though back then when I went for the consult, I already knew some bazi, and many of us here, perhaps even you, know some bazi or Qi background, but you still go for a consult. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Because we want other perspectives. So back then, I've done that. And of course, back then, I was during, I haven't divorced at that time. It was during my separation time. I was deciding whether or not to, move on with life or deciding what to do next. Okay, I was at that phase, So I went for a consult. I seek for a consult. And some of you guys have heard this before. I wasn't really happy with the answers that I get. Okay, I wasn't really happy. Hello, Lichi. Okay, so I wasn't really happy with the answers I get in the consult because I hear very nasty things about myself. Okay, which honestly, it's quite sad. Okay, as a girl, I went because of my relationship problem, and I felt that I was being squashed even more in the consult. Okay, but anyway, that being said, because we weren't educated or we weren't taught to learn how to go through the consultation session. Yeah, we were taught, nobody teaches how to, go through a consult, okay? But this is part of experience. So I want you guys to actually remind yourself the first time when you went for a consult, okay? What kind of questions that you ask? What kind of questions that you ask? It could be absolutely like very silly question, right? And it could be something like this. So these are some of the few questions because I had a 1 hour session. I threw all the questions in, literally, yeah, anything about this. So this is also a very common question, a frequently asked question in today's consultation sessions, yeah. So I personally asked this, am I compatible with my ex-husband? Are we compatible? Will I go through a divorce? Yeah. Will I go through divorce? I asked this question. Will he divorce me? Is he a cheater? Right? And the next question is, okay, will I ever find a man after I divorce? So it's such a worrying thing. After I divorce, nobody want me, and then will I be rich? This one I asked later part. Will my ex-husband be rich? Okay, so maybe all these questions are actually the subconscious factor on what's going to make us decide on certain things, right? Of course, if my ex-husband is going to be rich, I will probably stay with him, So these are literally the kind of questions that I ask. So the thing is, I got all these answers, by the way. I got all these answers. And of course, it didn't make me very happy. So maybe you also can start remembering, what kind of questions you ask. It could be something that you ask for the sake of knowing, but deep down, what I realized is after I get all the answers, I realized that I get all the answers of this. I realized that I still couldn't solve my problem. Yeah. So I remember leaving the room. Yeah, it's a glass room. Thinking about going through about the consult. Okay, but still, I do not know what is next. I do not know what is my next step. All I knew is this. So honestly, of course, I'm not going to name who, but the whole consultation is literally talking about, this is a distraction, this is this. So it's a very technical reading, which obviously I know, but I know, but I don't know. So that's the problem. And a lot of this question not only, did not help me to solve my problem, the way my question was projected, if anything goes wrong, it's like, oh, because the chart says so. Because the chart say that I have a clash, that's why I'm gonna divorce. Yeah. So it's a very common thing, by the way. And I did that as well. I said that as well. Okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of because we went through that process, right? So literally what happened means that I was blaming the chart. Okay. So there was this this meme that I did in one of my videos as well, right? And this meme is going everywhere, right? The past few months or so. So I extracted this out. So you see this one, right? You get what I mean, right? So if you want to basically learn bazi so that you can blame your damn chart for all the screwed up things that happen in your life. Typical. So blame feng shui, blame the feng shui and blame the damn furnitures because you're not getting any prosperity or whatever that's going on with you at home. So technically, this is the joke that is all around, right? This is a true, typical joke. And this is something that I want to raise this kind of awareness because it is true that unconsciously, this is what we are doing most of the time. Yeah, unconsciously. It's not that we want to blame it because we unconsciously do it. Why? Because it's hard. It's very difficult to actually take our chart in and decide something. It's very hard. And I can tell you, most people, the reason why they actually come for bazi reading because they didn't want to make their own decision. They want the consultant to make the decision. And this is one of our struggle every day that we need to tell the consultant, I am not going to make decisions for you. And this is stated clearly in the guidelines if you come to consult with me. Okay, I'm not going to make decisions for you because you have to make it yourself. But my experience is this. No one come and tell me that. I had to decide it on my own. I had to decide it on my own, right? And the truth is because I came to this problem. I love bazi a lot, and I never knew that I would came to fall in love with the subject. Okay, because the reason why I took it up is only because I wanted to know my answers myself because I cannot rely on other people to tell me so. So when I studied it and I mastered it, there were a lot of phases. And one of the phases, right, was this. I get to know everything. I studied up to certain mastery level. I know all the technicalities behind the things. I memorize every single thing. I know the existence of the classics. I know this and know that. But still, I don't know what to do. Okay, I don't know what to do. It's absolutely very common. So it's very frustrating because I thought I could make a difference in my life and make better decisions because the whole reason why we study bazi and the promotion was, you learn this so that you will know what to do with your life. But I guess no one actually break it down before, like how you can actually use this to help yourself. No one actually break it down before. And I don't think it's easy to break down, being in a position now who breaks down this subject. It's not easy because we have to translate something that is intangible and it requires a little bit of thinking, right? So I don't blame it. But myself, I gave myself this mission to overcome this. I got to do something different. Okay, so along the way, of course, I haven't met maybe now got lah, but back then when I studied all the technical, I haven't met a teacher who would tell me like straight in my face, like, okay, how to do it. I think a lot of teachers actually do it, but there wasn't a certain way to tell us that, hey, you have to do it this way, right? So a lot of them is just by practice, but explaining the practice is a different thing, yeah? Explaining the practice is a total different thing. So this is the few typical issues that I believe when you guys sign up for this free webinar, you have some bazi background. You heard it before. You have seen certain terms before. You've picked up somewhere before, read some books before. So these are the typical problems. Yeah. Number one, only know how to see all the technicals. Okay, many people, because I do coaching sessions. I one-to-one coaching sessions. I've seen 100% of the coaches face this. Everyone are so like bad on their technical, but what does it mean? Don't know, right? So this is a typical issue. I went through that process as well. Now, second, they know this is flashing this is this, but what can we do? There is no technical, there is no technique, there is no strategy or thinking process on what the technical actually mean. Okay, now perhaps one of your problems are this, yeah. So another typical issue is how can we translate this to real life? It's very common, and I have actually encountered a situation whereby a client was so worried that she wanted someone to join the consult with me. Yeah, someone who would be able to communicate with her, because she was worried that I was going to tell her all the technical interactions and stuff. And I told her, well, maybe her past experience were like that, because she told me she didn't want to waste the money with me, you know. So she came in with a person who is hoping to translate the technical stuff to her, like the non-technical stuff to her. So I came to know that, wow, you know, it's actually a very common thing that in a consult, people just talk about the interaction, but they don't relate. They don't know how to translate it into real life strategies. So very common thing is that even I use that word, yeah, by the way, like you say, okay, use this. We say use this element, bring this element, you know, do this element. So what does it mean in real life? So how do you translate that? It's a problem, okay? So we know how to write in paper, but in reality, it's a different action. Last but not the least is this, yeah? At the end of the day, you don't know how to use the information. So you read everything else, but technically you read nothing else. Yeah. So this is a huge problem and a huge misconception, I would say, that people don't see any effect after learning bazi, because the tool is only as good as the user at the end of the day. Yeah. So at the end of the day, this is me. I was still confused. I was still confused at the very end of the session. Yeah. Theory is very easy. Yes, theory, by the way, it's everywhere online. I mean, nowadays, we are so blessed with information. Back then, when I studied, and it's not very long ago, yeah? It's not very long ago, okay? I have to take a pen and paper and write things. Today, everything is computerized. Last time, I still remember, I have to like scan the notes just to put inside the computer, you know, and keep the notes because I don't want to keep so many paper. Now, we don't have to do that anymore, yeah? So, I would say this era is so blessed with a lot of information, honestly. And theory is very easy. And I can tell you one thing, many people, they know the information, but they are lacking also with the fundamental understanding. So you know this is this, but you don't know why this is this. So one thing I would like to also clarify and take this opportunity to clarify is that bazi, okay, I find it very logical. It's a very logical thing. Why? Because it's always yin and yang. It's an energy. So no matter how it functions, energy is always trying to do one thing. It's trying to find its balance. That is what energy does. Energy comes in a yin and yang. So no matter how they move or how they function, the reason on why they move or function in a certain way is because they are trying to find balance at the end of the day. So to me, that is extremely logic. So if you understand the concept of the basic yin and yang, everything is understandable. Yeah, but you need to have a very strong You need to have a very strong fundamental understanding. Very, very strong. Okay. It may be very simple, but I remembered in China when I was studying Chinese medicine, um, it will take us just 3 days to study just yin and yang. 3 days. Like it's very dry, very boring, but it's a lot of wisdom. Yeah, 3 days just on yin and yang. It's a whole topic itself. Yeah, it's a philosophy basically. Okay, so that only happens in China. Okay, not in here. Okay, I also cannot go through that process anymore. It's very dry topic. Okay, how do you keep your notes now? I put them into what's it called, the purple color, the Microsoft Notes. I put them that way, and I still have a lot of bags and a lot of papers that is compiling. So I need to transfer them into a digital copy. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing time to time. Okay, otherwise it's all my brain, So that's it. Easy to lose confidence when reading and the person say it's not true. This is a good thing to say because I went through that process as well. And with practice, you would be able to know. And there is a trick, okay? Because now today we're going to see that why sometimes it will turn out different than what people say who they are. Okay, so this is something, because the topic today is about how we convert confusion to clarity. Okay, say example, if the person that you are reading for is already confused, right? Yeah, when you say something, they don't agree. But at the same time, they are confused. So how? Don't you see the irony sometimes? So you have to be in a way, if you want to be a consultant or you want to read for people, you got to trust yourself. Okay, so again, out of topic, but whenever we do any form of metaphysical work, you have to trust your gut, have to trust the instinct. Sometimes we even pull out the wrong chart, but when we say the thing is meant for the person, yeah, it happens. And this will leave it to another topic because it's an affinity related thing. So that is why we have to trust. We have to trust that, and then the message or the reading somehow is correct for the person. But actually, the whole chart was not the person's chart. It happens before, by the way. It happened before. I happened a couple. To me, happened a couple of times. Not only different chart, but different gender also happens. So different gender means the luck pillar will change. So whenever it's meant for the person, it will be meant for the person. Okay, so it's okay. It will come through practice. Yeah, right? So today, we're going to go through 3 very simple steps. Okay, 3 very simple steps. And I'm going to share with you because today's session is going to be my preview of my bazi masterclass. So I'm going to showcase some of the things that I'm going to be teaching. Right? I'm going to showcase some of the things I'll be teaching, some of the techniques that I can use and play around. I'm not going to play all techniques because it's quite a lot of technique, right? And sometimes it's not necessary, but I'm just going to play around. So if you've got any questions, also feel free to type it down for me, okay? So, but this is the rule, yeah, by the way. Like every time before any form of reading, any time before my client comes in for a reading, I always need to make sure these few steps happen first. Okay, so even for those who are in my class, okay, and I find this method the most useful. It's very unconventional because it's not part of what we learn in classic, but I realized that it is necessary, and this is basically the first step. This is basically the first step, okay, the bigger picture step, okay, because always, right, the first step is always before even you want to go to your bazi chart. Okay, before even you want to go to your bazi chart, the first step is you. Yeah, the first step is you, us, and I, or the client. Right? It's always the first step. Because if the client comes in with the wrong mindset, yeah, if the client comes in with the wrong mindset, okay, nothing's going to happen after that. Right? Get me? Right? This happens a lot of time. That is also the reason why we see why success happen in certain people and why success don't happen in certain people after the consult, because it's a mindset problem. Okay, and I know, like, oh, maybe you guys here are always thinking about, oh, I want to see the technical part. Yes, don't worry, the technical part will always come in. But if we enter to the world of bazi, if we enter to the world of metaphysics, energetic reading, if we start off with the wrong mindset, your perspective will totally change. Okay, so everything you see will be wrong, everything we see will be bad. Okay, so our perspective is the one that is going to determine whether we're going to do well or not. So technically, the first rule is that we need to make sure that when you want to read your bazi chart, you want to apply yourself, you first have to accept. In a way, we say don't accept fate, right? But you have to accept fate in some ways. You have to accept it because this bazi chart, right, is yours. So we cannot try to say like we don't want or we reject our bazi chart. Cannot. Okay, so the first rule is this. Okay, the first rule is this. Always adjust it first, and it always must start with us, which means that we have to be the one taking control, deciding something before we go to the bazi chart. We have to decide it first. Okay, so what happened to me back then in my consult, in my session, is that I was so focused at the chart itself, I failed to see that I was the one who decided that this is going to happen, because I was in control, but I weren't at the end of the day. So I failed to see that I'm in control. So this is what it means, but you are in control in certain things. Not everything, but in certain things. Okay, so you have to see that you have that kind of power. And this is very important. Over time, if you plan to really master the art, you have to understand bazi is a tool to achieve wisdom. Bazi is a tool to achieve wisdom. Not sure whether you guys know the combination of the horse and the goat, the Wu Wei combination. Yeah, that combination itself is a sun and moon combination, we call it. So that is called the Wu Wei. This Wu Wei is very commonly used as a form of wisdom, meaning to say, Wu Wei is about knowing when to act and knowing when not to act. And that is called wisdom. This is the end goal. So if you are here to actually learn like, oh, this and that, need to know what is what, that is just maybe, halfway through. The bigger picture, after everything else, is achieving this thing called wisdom. That's why bazi is a lifelong thing. It's not just one thing that we learn because we have this clash this year. Next year, we have this destruction. That year, we have a punishment. It's not like that. Over time, it becomes a wisdom tool. Okay, and it's going to help us in a long run. Okay, so this is very important because could you imagine, right, a tool that is so old? I mean, it's not just meant for us to see what's going to happen, right? It's way more sophisticated than that. Okay, so this is one thing that we all must understand. Okay, and expect this as well if you really want to go at a very high level, right? Because it's a tool that help us achieve wisdom. Okay, now this is what we're going to do today. Right? And I want to clarify this because let me put out all the words first. Okay. Right. So when I mean by clarity, and I think this is often also mistaken, right? Finding clarity is not about always getting the right answers. Please understand this. Because even people like us, a lot of metaphysics coach and seniors and practitioners out there, we don't always get the right answers, right? But clarity is not about getting the right answers. Clarity is about seeing things clearly. Getting the right answers sometimes require experience, sometimes require skills. Bazi doesn't bring that. Bazi bring us clarity, help us to see things better. Experience comes with time. Skills also comes with effort and time. So sometimes it's not about you see Bazi means you always get the right answer. Because if we are lacking of the experience, we are lacking of the skill, we don't always get the answer, right? Sometimes in terms of business, we are not very sure because we don't have the business experience. So we will make the wrong decision. But what is important is that we are seeing it clearly that, oh, we made this mistake. That is clarity. Now, finding clarity is also not really about obstacle free. Yeah, meaning to say, we will still face some challenges, we will still face some obstacle. But the difference is we can see the obstacle, we can recognize the challenges. That is clarity. It's also not about having a perfect plan, okay? And it's not about immediate resolution. And this is very important. That is the reason why we have this thing called the luck pillars, okay? Because sometimes it's just not time. Not time to make certain action, not time to make certain decision, okay? So it's not about avoiding or it's not about what. Sometimes things take time to sink in. So finding answers through bazi doesn't always give you the answers that you want. Okay, it maybe allow you to see certain things that you don't, right? So maybe there's no immediate solution for things, right? And for those who are practicing, you know that we go left, right, center, play with the chart, we don't see any solution. We need to wait for next year because timing problem. Okay, so it happens. It's normal, right? Now, finding clarity also doesn't mean that there is no doubt. Okay, doubt is second guessing things. Okay, meaning you have a bit of fear. And by the way, it's important to have that. It's a resistance in humans. So please don't think that when you're clear means you don't have doubt. Okay, it may take time to unwind a little bit. Okay, but we will still have a bit of doubt. It's normal. So it's very important to understand the outcome of what clarity means. Okay, clarity, it only means about how you feel, how you think, and understanding your motivation, your whys. That comes with clarity. Okay, say example, when you do something, there is a reason. Yeah, when we choose to respond in a certain way, yeah, when we choose to respond in a certain way, there is a reason. So by understanding your bazi, by just the word being clear, you will be able to understand why. The reason why I chose this topic today, because this is, I think it's the first thing that is very important, even for practitioners, even for if you aspire to read charts or you want to read charts, you have to be clear first. If you're not clear, you cannot read for people. Very important. If you get confused, people confuse. Okay, so it's this clarity is extremely important. If you cannot find solution for people, if you cannot find solution for yourself, because solutions require techniques, as long as you give them clarity, is already a win. Because this is one of the objectives. Okay, so it's very important that we see it this way. So that is what clarity means. So confusion and clarity, the difference are this. Yeah, I've posted these pictures out a few times before. So when it's entangled like this, okay, it's called confusion, entangled, because the chi is all mixed up, jumbled up. Okay, so everything is a form of energy. So whenever humans are confused, whenever we are confused, technically what's going on in the inside, your bazi chart, is that it's messy, it's not organized, it's overlapping, it's fighting with each other, so it's entangled. Okay, now the goal is to achieve this clarity. Clarity means in a chi format. Yeah, smooth sailing. Smooth sailing, not in problems, again I say, but clear, you can see things. Yeah, so when obstacle come, you can bounce. When problem come, you can embrace. You see, so that's how you deal with it. Okay, so this is very important to understand the concept of what clear means, because in no matter whatever we are trying to resolve as a concept, right? In metaphysics, it's just about creating the chi flow. Okay, no matter what we are doing, okay, no matter what we are doing, at the end of the day, it's just about creating the chi flow. Even when it comes to feng shui, even when it comes to qi men, even when it comes to what else? Yeah, I only do this few. Okay, it's all about that. Face reading. Okay, it's all about that. It's all about enhancing. Because again, why? Energy itself, they're only trying to do one thing: find its balance. Whenever it's finding its balance, and then it can move. It can move. So we are achieving this thing called the smooth chi flow. Okay, hence it explains why when a bazi chart has lesser, like forced together, like lesser interactions per se, right? They have better clarity in a way. Yeah, better clarity. Okay, doesn't mean they won't make wrong decisions. Yeah, they still do, they still make mistakes, but has better clarity. Okay, because why? The chi can technically move smoother. Okay, move smoother. Okay, so these are the three simple steps. Okay, three simple steps that I am going to share with you guys. Okay, oops. Three simple steps that you just want to take note. Okay, step one, again, be the owner of your chart. Very important. Remember, the mindset is very important. You have to take accountability to activate your mainframe. That's it. Okay, because if you understand chi flow, how it works, right? Basically, it's need to go. Okay, you need to activate it. Okay. Now, step three is then when you try to break the limit. But first, you need to activate it. You cannot try to break the chart without activating it. It doesn't work the other way around. Okay, it works together, right? So that is the reason why sometimes we cannot break certain interactions in the chart, because sometimes the mainframe is not activated. Okay, so now step one, very simple. I'm not going to touch too much on this, okay, because this is very philosophical. Maybe some other day we'll talk about it, but I want to go through more technical stuff today. Okay, step one, again, be the owner of the chart. So meaning take responsibility of your chart, accept your chart. I always say also, I'm not sure whether some of you guys have heard it before. Whenever I say accept your chart means what? Means in a way you need to accept fate in a certain level. Because why? When you start to accept your chart that is given to you, this is heaven. Okay, your bazi chart is something that is heaven realm. Heaven realm is given to you. Please don't try to change it. Yeah, when you are trying to change things that are given by heaven, you are going against something that you shouldn't, or what is shouldn't, you cannot change. Yeah, you're really trying to knock a wall down when you can't. Okay, so when you have your chart with you, you have to accept it no matter how, right? Don't try to be this or that, or you want to be that. It's not about what you like. Okay, and I can tell you, I can guarantee this, you are going to enjoy your chart later when you are your chart. Okay, so whatever interactions or whatever quality issues you have in your chart, first step, just accept it first. Okay, don't care. However terrible it is, like some people say, whatever quality ABC chart, just take it in. It's yours. Own the chart. Okay, own the chart. Right? It's very important. Now, then shift your mindset. Okay, this is also what I mentioned earlier on. Shift your mindset. What kind of mindset? See the limitations of your chart, the problems. Everyone's chart has a problem. The problems in your chart, as part of your responsibility, okay, to overcome and grow. It's part of our job. Basically, this is your task. This is yours and this is your task. Nothing else. That's it. Okay, this is your task. Don't try to take another chart and do other things. Okay, so this is step one, taking accountability. How you want to do it? There are a few ways. I just put it down. Okay, I just put it down this way. Yeah, again, very quickly. You want to see the first step, see your chart as a continual life lesson, continuous lesson in life. So this one, I do talk about it sometimes, like every chart has its own lesson. Okay, every chart has its own lesson, meaning to say, there is always one or two things, right, that you need to learn in this whole lifetime. Right? Okay. So basically, like example, like for my case, the clash from my relationship. That's my lesson. That's my lesson, and that is something that I will need to really focus on, right? And learn big time, because that's my lifetime lesson. Because again, the clash is always there. Okay, so whatever you have in your natal chart are basically the lesson that you need to overcome. Okay, it doesn't necessarily go in one day or 1 year. Doesn't mean if you succeed one time, means it's not there. When it's in your natal chart, it is ought to come back and always teach us a certain form of lesson. And each time we learn better, we get better. That is what I mean, a continuous lesson. Okay, it's a journey, right? Now, second point is accept the fact that you are different and unique. When I mean by that, means please define your own success. Define your own failures. Okay, usually what I would like to do for this, highlight all the interaction you have, highlight all the gaps of quality issues if you know how to do this. Okay, for those who know, you can play with this. Determine your traits and character that cause success and problems in the past. Accept all this. And you have to understand that we, the owner of the chart, are responsible for all of this. We cannot blame other people. Okay, because the chart reflects us. We take action because of certain things that reflects in the chart. So we need to see it, we need to recognize it. We need to be conscious of that energy that triggers us. Then we are accepting it. Okay. The next step is pursue the courage. Have the courage. Courage is very important for change. I think the key thing for change, and if anyone wants to change, you need a lot of courage. Okay, because transforming or breakthroughs in life, you need to have that courage. It doesn't happen without courage. Okay. Now you need to have the courage to pursue, let go, and repeat. It's always going to be a repetitive process. Okay, yin and yang again. It's always a repetitive process. So it's part of growth. This is the philosophical side. Step one, only step one. This one I can tell you. The bazi can tell you something, but there is no technicality behind it. Yeah, this one you may need certain tools. Yeah, maybe beyond bazi, right? Maybe outside of bazi realm. Okay, because not every time bazi can help in everything. I would say sometimes it requires other tools, okay, to support. Because the mindset, well, sometimes it's very hard to get rid of it. Very hard. Okay, so maybe need a bit of feng shui here and there, then it will help. Okay, so maybe need another tool. But bottom line is this is the first step, adjusting our mind. Okay, adjusting our mind, right? So next step here is where the important part will be. And I would say here, step 2 is activate your mainframe. Okay, activating your mainframe. So the mainframe I'm referring here is actually what? Your core principles. Yeah, your core principles, your values. Okay, so I could say your core principle, Yeah, so do you know what is your core principle? Do you know what are your core values? Okay, do you know what are your strengths? Yeah, even if you know, do you activate it? Means do you use it? Okay, so these are very important because activating it means doing it in real life. Yeah, activating means doing it in real life. Okay, that is also the reason why. Okay, so this is very important. This is not given. Yeah, this is not given. Not given means what? Doesn't mean you have that, means it's automatic that you activate it. No, okay. Again, I repeat, this is not given. Activation requires conscious effort to do it. Doesn't mean if your chart is like that, meaning you will be like that. So just now, one of the question was saying that when we do reading for people and people say it's not true, okay, possibly the person is wrong. Because if you read it correctly, possibly is that person is not embodying the chart. And that is why he or she is not happy. Yeah? Okay? So it's not given for. The things in the chart needs to be activated through action. If it is confused, you most likely won't activate it. Okay? If it's confused, you most likely won't activate it because you're confused. You don't know what to do. So you will just shoot here and there. Okay, so you're not activating it, so you don't use it, so you don't have it at the end of the day. Okay, so what does it mean, the mainframe? I use the word mainframe because these are the key ingredients that make up the main stuff of a puzzle chart. Okay, number one is the day master. Number two is the structure. Number three is the luck pillar. Okay, so basically, if you are more advanced, your day master, you can activate advanced level day pillar. Okay, this one is more advanced. Yeah, it's more advanced technique, more specific. Because sometimes you don't know your day pillar, never mind, you can just focus at your day master. It's also okay, right? So basically, your day master, it tells your main character. Your main character, who you are, what is your core value. You know, like some people, right? They value justice more, but the person may not. Yeah, and it's not that they are wrong. It's just our core values are different. Some people, they are okay to bend rules a little bit. Well, it's not wrong. It's about some people are just more flexible, but some people just are more principled. They you kill them also they won't do it. Why? Because that's their core values. They hold strongly to the core value because it's their character. Okay, so again, like I said, if the person is like that, doesn't mean when the chart says so, doesn't mean in real life they are like that. They can be very different. Yeah. Why? Humans. Why? We are affected by our surrounding. Yeah. We are influenced by environment who tells us what is right and wrong. Okay. So even if by default we are someone like this, but peer pressure or environment has told us that no, you're supposed to be like that, or the environment has said that something like this is better, then automatically you will go there. But the problem is this: when it's not you, you become that. Won't you be upset? You get very upset. At the end of the day, you do it, but you hate doing it because you don't like it, but you kind of have to do it, but you force yourself to like it. So the idea of fake it till you make it sometimes is a bit dangerous because you may lose your identity through that. Okay, you have to be very honest with yourself who you are at the end of the day. So that is actually the day master, which is the very fundamental of things. Okay, the second one is called the structure. Structure is called the traits. Yeah. So Basically, structure is how you express something. So we all may have the same core principle, but how we express our principles, how we express our values are different. Some people are more flexible. Some people are like some people are more creative, right? They express it in a more artistic way. Yeah, some people is a bit more unconventional. They express it in a way that people only certain people understand. Like some people are more structured, more organized, or more traditional. They will express it in that way. So structure is how we express something, is how we deliver something. Okay, so we all may have the same principle, but how we express it could be different. Okay, vice versa. Yeah, sometimes we have the same way of expressing something, but our core principles are different. Okay, so humans are extremely complex. Okay, now activating it means what? Do you know your own traits? The real traits that is in your chart? Are you already using it for you? Yeah, so that is the question. If you are already using it for you, means you have already activated it. Okay, meaning put that traits into real life action. Okay, now the third one is called the luck pillar. Luck pillar, okay, is the present energy. It's very important because the present energy represents your present experience. And present experience will change how we make certain decisions. Say, example, we make certain mistakes. We have experienced something bad in the past. It will change our decision. It will change how we view things. Yeah. So it's very important if you want to use your chart for clarity, you want to gain that clarity, you have to activate the luck pillar as well. Okay, the luck pillar as well, right? Okay, so now what I'm actually going through here is just a process called embodiment. Yeah, becoming. And what does it mean? Become authentic. Okay, become authentic. Okay, and that is what it means by activating your mainframe. Okay, it means you have to consciously do it, right? So only with that, then you have this alignment. Alignment with your character, alignment with your core, your inner self. Okay, so that's why it's possible that, like just now, who was it? Daniel was saying, right? What if you read already and the person denies the truth? Well, the question is this: are you reading it correctly? Yeah, if your reading is correct and you're confident with your reading, trust your reading. Okay, and maybe the other party is wrong because they may be very different with the chart, and it's very possible. Okay, and how can we tell that the person is very different with their chart? There are symptoms one. Okay, there are usually symptoms. So you can also like track. It's like sometimes you see that when you open up your bazi chart, yeah, when you open up your bazi chart, you see you are this, but you get shocked whenever you are that. It's like, I'm not like that. Okay, I'm not like that. You might notice I'm not like what the chart says after you learn, right? And you notice that. So why is that so? Yeah, so maybe because you're not aligned. That now you know, then you act towards it. But if you do not know, you are now not sure, usually it comes with these few symptoms. Okay? It comes with these few symptoms. So these are the typical I call this the out of alignment symptoms. It means when you do not have an activated mainframe, when you are not fully using your bazi chart as it is, usually got these few symptoms. Yeah, usually got these few symptoms. Yeah, confused. Of course, you're confused because you are like this, but in reality, you are forced to do other things. You are told what is right and what is wrong, right? And now you feel that that is right, but you are wrong, but you don't like it. It's very confused. So there's a constant conflict. Yeah, there's a constant conflict. Not only that, you get stressed very easily whenever you're stuck in certain decisions. Maybe guilt, low self-esteem, right? Point three is very common, lack of purpose. So I get this question a lot. Clients come to me asking me about, I cannot find my purpose, or what, I want to find my purpose. Immediately you know that this is the solution. Immediately, because you know that they are out of alignment from their chart. When you are aligned with your chart, doesn't matter if your chart is good, bad, C, D, E ranking, doesn't matter. You will know why you're doing it. Yeah, doesn't matter the quality first. Put aside the quality first. Okay, so as long as you're your chart, you kind of know, right, that you're on the right track. You just kind of know it. So all you need to do is actually do it. Okay, now, no clear sense of core values, meaning to say you can be bent easily. You know, like sometimes some people don't have the spine. Like people say what they yes, people say what they yes. You know, people pleaser sometimes, and then at the end of the day, they suffer a lot. Yeah, because they don't have a core value, right? And it's not because they don't have it, they have it, but they're not sure because people tell them something different and they are different. So that is mainly that. So out of alignment. Now, lack of motivation and low morale. So if your chart is activated in terms of its mainframe, you are fully using your chart for you, there's always this drive. Okay, there's always this drive. And I can tell you the difference for me personally and for those who have successfully changed because of bazi or any form of metaphysics, you know this. The moment you are in your chart, the moment you are your chart, you make that connection with your chart. It is not difficult to find that motivation to keep going in life. I remember back then, it was such a struggle to get up. Of course, when you sleep late, you get up very difficult. But now it's like there is a mission. Every time when you wake up, right, you got a mission to do something, you know? Or because you know what you're supposed to do, you have a sense of purpose. So your motivation is higher and your morale is higher because you are very much in control of what you are. Okay? So basically, to check whether you are in or out the alignment, it's always this. Now, I'm also saying one thing. You will not always, you will not always be in your alignment. Okay? There are times where you will misalign a little bit. We are humans, right? And luck pillar come and go. So sometimes, example, when you're activating the mainframe, when you're using certain elements in your chart, wow, 1 year it come in and slap it. 1 year the clash happened. Another year punishment happened. Slap, all the way through, right? Of course you will misalign. It's common. But the difference is this. When you already know what is your mainframe, if they slap you, you can slap them back. That's the only difference. So sometimes we get out a little bit, you misalign a little bit, but if you are aware of it, you can always get back to it. Okay? So humans are like that, right? It's never always a nice phase throughout the whole life. It's always in and out. So it's very important. So this is, again, understanding. So you can see for yourself the differences. And that is how we notice changes in clients' life, by the way. And I'm happy to say that I have many clients who really, really changed their life. Like, I'm very happy, even for myself. And sometimes I can tell you this honestly, and I know I'm selling the masterclass topic. Sometimes the basic ones, it's good enough to help people or to help yourself. Okay? Sometimes it's that way, right? So now, just give an example. This is a bazi chart. Okay? This is a bazi chart. This is where your core value come from. Okay? Or if you are a bit advanced user, use the day pillar. Okay, if you're an advanced user, feel free to play with the pillar. Yeah, so that is where the 60 jiazi knowledge comes in. Okay, that's an advanced technique. Now, the next one is your structure. Okay, structure mainly comes from the man pillar. Yeah, like the man holds a prominent role in the chart. The man holds the whole structure. Yeah, so usually you will see the structure in your man. Okay, now I don't want to go too deep first. I get a bit confused, but let me introduce this first. The luck pillars are the present expression. Okay, the luck pillars are the present expression. So present expression means what? Like for this case, can be in the 10 years luck pillar, and it can be in the 1 year luck pillar, the annual luck pillar. Okay, so all you need to do is activate all this. Yeah, so when I mean by activating it, means what do you use? Okay, simple. Your core value, you activate the run water. Meaning, if you are a run water, please be a run water. Yeah? Please be a run water. Okay, put aside the other interactions first. Put aside that first. But first, you got to be the run water. So whatever trait the run water is, whatever character the run water is. Okay, but this chart most likely very difficult to be a run water because it's surrounded by so many metals. Get distracted very easily. Okay, now next is the structure. So when I mean by structure, what does it mean? Activate what? Activate the 10 gods. Okay, if you do not know how to see the manual ones, don't worry, in the class we will teach. Okay, in the class we will teach how to see the chart manually. Okay, because it's quite complicated, especially when it involves earth branch, a bit complicated. But in the class we will teach. But if you don't know, no sweat, just look at the 10 gods, okay, or the strongest 10 gods in your chart. Okay, then this one you can see in the summary there. You know, in any of the bazi portal today, all got summary one. So you will see the highest or the highest. Okay, you activate that. Okay, you activate that. The 10 gods. Okay, when I mean by activate means what? In real life, are you using it? Okay, in real life, are you using it? Sometimes it's very unconscious. You may already be using it. Yeah, that's why you feel like, oh, it's good, it's good. Okay, yeah, sometimes you may not. Okay, so you need to evaluate. Now, when I mean by luck pillar activation means what? The 10 gods. At this point, only look at the main ones. Okay, the main 10 gods. The stem and the branch. The stem and the branch. Okay, activate it, whatever it is. Now, advanced user, play with the pillar. Okay, example, yi si. Yi si is an aeroplane. Yeah, yi si is an aeroplane, is traveling. Okay, next year. Okay, so if you know some of your jiazi knowledge on hand, you immediately know what this person should be doing. Okay, so example. Okay, example. Okay, now this is what you can play. So there are different application levels. So we don't always need to use the advanced level. Sometimes if you know certain techniques, you can just stick to the techniques that you know. Okay, example, if you're familiar with the 10 gods, you just stick to the 10 gods. Okay, so these are very simple ways, right? So there are multiple techniques, and I haven't even put in the auxiliary stars yet. Okay, because I didn't put in auxiliary stars here. But yes, auxiliary stars will also help us to see certain things in the chart. Okay, which I didn't put here, which will be covered in our module 2, auxiliary stars. Okay, now these are just the core values that I have incorporated in. I will not go through too much on it because I don't think we have time, but I just put it inside. So you just want to pay attention, okay, whether or not your day master, okay, your day master, right, is like this, okay, is like this, okay. Okay, so let me see some question. For the fast track, okay, yes, I will DM you on that, okay? Def. Yeah, I think I got your email, okay? And Daniel can share some tips on how to start practicing on people. Yes, it's actually quite simple. If we have time, we'll talk about that. If we know our own day pillar, will it still be affected by interaction with other pillar for EG? It will definitely. If we know your own day pillar, yeah, definitely will be affected. So, example, I think I understand what's your question, because, like, example, if your day pillar have an interaction, will it still be affected even though you know? The answer is yes. Because why? It is still a form of energy, but awareness is already 50% the win. So usually, my advice is when you activate it means what? You do things to bring up your day master. So even though it's clashed or even though it's combined away or whatsoever, as long as you put conscious effort to become your day master, it will shine. But it will be more difficult, of course, because there are certain interaction. When there are interaction means what? Again, a bit confused, a bit chaos. So it's like you're trying to fight with the energy, you see. But with a lot of mindfulness, and of course with the help of feng shui, with the help of luck pillars, sometimes it could be easier. Okay, sometimes it could be easier because the time always change. So every hour is also energy. So sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's difficult, and every day also sometimes could be easier, sometimes it could be difficult. So it depends. Okay, sometimes it could be easier, sometimes it could be more difficult. But the whole idea is, if we know it, we can always consciously go back to it. That is the whole thing. That is the whole idea. Do we use our prominent traits if it's our negative? Yes, and I'll talk about it later. Okay, and there is a reason why. There's a reason why. So example, there's a strong day master and a resource structure. Yes, it's not favorable, I understand, but it's still what you are good at. Okay, I know it's not favorable, but it's still what you are good at. So you are good at it. So you should be using it to achieve something. Okay, but in terms of certain other things, maybe you cannot rely on that. Okay, so there needs to be a distinct use when you should be using resource and when should you not be using resource. Okay, yes, it's unfavorable. So whenever you start using it more, that is why you need to take more action. When the resource goes up, you need to output even more, and that will find balance in your chart. Okay, so you need to act as a balancer, our action. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways to go around that. Will you be sharing more on jiazi? I will talk a little bit of jiazi in the class, but it's impossible to talk about jiazi, the whole jiazi, because the whole jiazi itself will take many days of a module. Yeah, it's a lot. It's 60. It's a lot, right? And every one of them has many things. So, yeah, it will take some time for me to get prepared. Okay, it's a long list. Okay, so basically, what you can apply at this stage is this: always focus at your day master first, and you see whether you are aligned with your day master or not. If you are not, then take the conscious action to be. Okay, and that is a reason why. If you are not your day master, the other things in your chart doesn't exist. Simple as that. Yeah, because your chart is only activated, your 10 dots are dependent on your day master. So if you do not become your day master, the 10 gods in the chart will also change. Okay, so if you know the technical way of how you find the 10 gods, you would be able to understand what I'm saying. That's why first rule, always become your day master. So example, these are just the keywords. I don't want to go through too much on it. So example, Jia Wood, the keyword here, leadership, growth principle. Yi Wood, adaptability, versatile, and peaceful. So these are all the positive traits. These are all the positive side of the day masters. But there are also negative ones. Yeah. Usually the negative ones will appear when it is very weak or the quality is compromised. Quality compromise means usually they would have certain form of interactions. Okay, so sometimes you see a Yi Wood that may not be that flexible or may not be that adaptable. Okay, possibly because the chart has very weak Yi Wood, or maybe the earth is very strong, so they are a bit not flexible, but they are still a Yi Wood. Okay, so the idea is we have to ignore the rest and become the day master first. Okay, for the Peng Fire, selfless, optimism, transparency. Teng Fire, intuitive, very strong EQ, and very knowledgeable. So Teng Fire is always very educated. If we see a Teng Fire who's not into knowledge, something is wrong. Yeah, something is wrong. So we know is not them already. Okay, it means the quality is usually a problem. Okay, now the next one. Okay, the next one, minimal 3 days class. Oh, Cindy, you're here. Okay, wait, Cindy is here. Okay, I'll let you take over my. Okay, so basically, I don't know how to do this. Yeah. So now, for the earth element, the key word here, okay, the earth element, the key word here is basically stability. Yeah, stability. Okay. Security and foundation. So if we see say a, what's it called? If we see a Wu Earth who is not interested in foundations, something is wrong. Yeah, because all Wu Earth, okay, all Wu Earth, they like to, okay, all Wu Earth, okay, they like to be stable. So technically, they like foundations, they like fundamentals. They always like to know more. They want to do something, they must know the fundamental. G Earth, they are more on a nurturing side. Yeah, they are more on the nurturing side. Okay, very flexible. G Earth is a very flexible element, and they care about everyone's feeling. Okay, it's their core value. So everyone happy can already. Is that that's G Earth. Okay, that's G Earth. Right now, for Keng metal, the keyword here is courage. Okay, Keng metal keyword here is courage. Okay, and justice. So Keng metal's core principle, they see anything that is unjust, they cannot tahan one. They cannot take it. So anything that is not fair, unfair, Keng metal cannot just take it in. They will say something, or they will feel like, you cannot be like that. Okay, right? So that is the Keng metal. Sin metal, elegant. So if you're a sin metal, you're not elegant, there's a problem. Learn to be elegant, classy, and they are quite diplomacy. Yeah. So a good quality sin metal, okay, they don't fight like, they don't fight fighting, they don't fight outside like that. They are very elegant. Even if they say something, right, it's very sophisticated one. So they care about you know, everyone be happy in a way. Okay, more diplomatic in nature, right? The rainwater, adventurous, foresighted, and see things far. So rainwater, they are very, you know, big picture oriented person. Open-minded, they are very open to changes. So all rainwater by nature, they are good with changes. Yeah, they are good with changes. Okay. Now, koi water, they are very deep people. Okay, a good quality. They are very deep. Yeah, they are very deep people. Okay, introspection. Okay, introspective, meaning to say koi water, they like to self-reflect. They always, because they're always in their own world, that kind. They are a dreamer in a way. So if it's a negative side, they become dreamer lah. They will dream, don't know go where. But introspection means they tend to self-reflect a lot. Okay, they look into themselves a lot, right? Philosophical. Koi water is a very philosophical stem. So this matters a lot to them, the philosophy of things. Okay, so that is koi water. Okay, this is a good quality koi water. So if you are either of these 10 gods, 10 stems, 10 day master, you have to be one. Please don't avoid it. Okay, please don't avoid it, because that is again when you start losing yourself. Okay, of course, again, I want to say that it's not always easy, because sometimes your day master strength could be very weak. Okay, when your day master strength is very weak, tendency for you to be like other day master or other element is very high. Okay, because you resonate with what is strong in your chart. But at the end of the day, you are still the day master. Okay, and by just doing this first step, you will gain a lot more clarity. Okay, you will gain a lot more clarity. All right. So the next step is when you want to look at the structure. Okay. So now again, we pull back this chart. Give an example. Okay, give you this chart. So this chart, and I'm going to show you guys certain different ways. Okay. So basically, put it this way. This chart, say example, the structure. The structure, we look at what is the strongest 10 gods in the chart. Okay, again, we want to activate it, correct? We want to activate it. So we see the chart, we activate this, step one. Now, I want to highlight again, it is easy to activate it sometimes because it's strong in your chart, but you may not always like it. Okay, so this is about the structure. Okay, because it's strong in your chart, to use it, to activate it is not difficult, but you may not like it. Okay, you may not like it, right? Meaning to say, if you are supposed to be resource, the resource is very strong in your chart, but you don't like using it, but you must use it. So this is also an expression to say that you are good at something, but you do not like what you are good at. Yeah. So sometimes we need to differentiate this. We may be good at something, but that doesn't mean you like it. Huh? Okay? Okay? That doesn't mean you like it. Right? So it happens. It happens. It's also pretty common. So we can see that from the chart. Now, the luck pillar, again, is a present energy. So we see these two. But beware, because the 10 gods, okay, may come in to interact with each other. Meaning to say, example, okay, for this chart, okay, the direct resource is very strong, direct officer is very strong. Okay, now, say assuming that this chart, the direct officer, activate the direct officer. Okay, but the direct officer, okay, maybe now say is affected. Okay, is affected by the dragon. Okay, yeah, right? So because it's affected, because the direct officer is affected, so it creates some problems. Okay, it creates some problems, right? So now that you want to activate the direct officer, it may not be that easy. So it would be a bit distracted. Again, because why? The energy is taking. Okay, so it depends. Okay, so sometimes activating structure, you will delay or you will find a lot of challenges. So just now someone asked, hey, if it's a negative one, if it's a clash, if it's this, we still activate it? The answer is yes. But again, it is our responsibility to overcome certain things in the chart. So if you are that, you have to use it and learn how to overcome the interactions between it. Yeah, because it will come and attack you one day anyway. Okay, so you have to learn how to use it at the end. All right, so now say I'm going to go through I'm going to go through the structures, okay, in 10 dots, okay, and I'm going to describe some of the action and I'm going to give you guys some example on how to use it. Okay, so the first one, if you have a resource as a structure, doesn't matter which one first, don't matter first, okay, it can be a direct resource or maybe it can be an indirect resource. Okay, now I just lump it all together as these three keywords. Okay, assistant, resourceful, and intuitive. Okay, now there are slight difference between these two. Direct resource is more direct, meaning you get direct assistance, or maybe a teacher, direct teacher to teach you something, or maybe a mentor, or certain like immediate knowledge. Okay, so you activate that. If your structure is a direct resource, activate that. Okay, so learning is something that is very important for you. Go and learn it. Okay, so activating it. Now, if it's an indirect resource, a bit indirectly, meaning to say probably more unconventional, probably more spiritual, probably more alternative methods. Okay, more alternative methods. Okay, now I give one example. Okay, I give one example. So this is how we deploy certain technique. Okay, technique. Okay, so this is also something that we're going to learn in the masterclass. Okay, so say example. Okay, this chart. Okay, this bazi chart. Okay, is a indirect resource structure. Yeah, indirect resource structure. Okay, so again, right? Activating what? Probably this person, if he face any form of confusion, is looking for certain form of clarity or looking certain form of solutions out from whatever problems that he have. Now, what can he do? Please look into the indirect resource first. Meaning to say, probably he can solve his problem through a more unconventional way. Probably seeking some spiritual assistance or spiritual practice would be able to help him. Or maybe he's asking assistance in a more unconventional way. Yeah, we don't know. Something new. But so it depends on what problem or what situation or confusion he's in. Okay, we don't know. So that could be one. But bottom line is indirect resource. Play with it, use it. Okay, because it's very strong in the chart, you can use it to your favor. Okay, so use it, right? Now, this is the first layer. Okay, activating it. Okay, you see in there, you use it. Okay, now another way, so different techniques, right? Okay, another way, okay, is that you look what is the stem. Okay, meaning to say we want more detail. Example. Okay, we look at the structure here, we want more detail. So what do? We look at the stem. So this indirect resource, it comes together with the friend star. Yeah, meaning what? A, does it mean probably it's a friend? Probably a spiritual friend. Is it possible? Probably he or she, this guy, he would know a spiritual friend that can give him specific advice, certain advice. Yeah, possibly. Or maybe it indicates the friend star. Friend is also the self. Probably he needs to go and learn some spiritual things. Probably. Yeah. Okay. So maybe friend star could be a sibling of same sex. Okay. Probably. Okay. Or maybe sibling who can introduce someone. So we see as the indirect resource, they come together with the friend star. Okay, so that's how we utilize something more specific. So there are multiple ways to bring in the indirect resource. So this is what I call it, like you use the whole pillar as a solution, as a technique. There's one. Okay, another one. Now, look at this. Yeah, I mentioned here quality. So this is what these are the few techniques you can play. Yeah. So second technique here is quality assessment. So I need to know, what kind of friend is this? Okay, what kind of friend is this? Yeah. So now look at the chart. For those who know, this friend, low quality friend. Meaning what? Peng fire is supposed to be born in the morning. But this is midnight. So you know maybe this friend, okay, maybe a bit more shady. Yeah. Or maybe this friend's advice could be somewhat quite judgmental. Yeah. Maybe the way how this friend would advise, not in a very nice way. Maybe a bit more nasty. Okay. The advice may be a bit more nasty. Yeah, because we see the quality of the friend is not that great. Okay, but the advice is still valid because it's still the resource star. But the ones that come with the advice probably, okay. So you kind of know like, okay, what kind of friend do you have you can actually seek for example. Or don't be too surprised if this is the friend that you seek advice for, you're going to get a big slap for that person. Yeah, but it's still a very wisdomous slap, basically. Okay, so that kind. So you see it through the quality assessment. Okay, now another technique, because this chart has many ways. Not every chart is like this, but another way is this. Look. Yin and Shi. Got interaction. So you know inside the tiger is indirect resource. So maybe spouse have to do with spouse, has to do with spouse's friend, maybe spouse's friend. Yeah, possible. Why? Yin Wu Xu produce fire, forms a fire formation, come back to fire, come back to friend. Yeah, so maybe spouse's friend. Yeah, and I actually know this person through the wife, actually. Yeah, okay. And this person come to me for a lot of sessions. He's basically my client. Okay, and now he's into Yi Jing. He studied himself already, actually. Yeah, but I first got to know him through the wife. Okay, so basically these are few techniques we can play. But as not every chart would have this kind of configuration, of course, but these are just few techniques that we can apply. Few techniques that we can apply. Okay, why is multiple techniques good? I would say, in my point of view, number one, I'm a very technical person. I like the technical part of things. That's why I like it. I like to know. Number two, I think it gives a lot of flexibility in terms of how you want to look for solutions. Because I can tell you most of the time, whenever I give a client a solution, right, they don't want the one, they cannot the one, they don't like this one, they cannot this one. So as a consultant, of course, our eyes need to be everywhere. What is the possible angle to go in? Sometimes to introduce them to a different way is easier to a child. So that is why different techniques could sometimes be quite nice, so that we have multiple solutions to solve a certain problem. So these are just different techniques. Okay? These are certain different techniques. The 10 God must get from the month first. Yes. So basically, because why? The month, okay, is the main structure. The month is the one that determines the season of the whole chart. That is why they are the main structure. Yeah, they are the main structure. So every time when we want to see structure, it's always from the month, because the month determines the season of the whole chart. So yes, it's always from the month first. Okay, always from the month first. Right? Now, the next one is companion. So if your structure is companion, stars. So either the friend or the rock wealth. Okay, the keyword is always people. Doesn't matter friend or rock wealth, doesn't matter first. It's the people. So you know, if you are a friend and rock wealth structure, please make sure, okay, the people around you are good quality. That's the keyword. Very important, because these people are the ones that can help you. Okay? Okay? So now there's a little bit of difference. Friend and rock wealth. A bit of difference. Friend are basically more friendly basis. The people who don't mind giving you that kind of favor, don't mind helping you. Or maybe a friend is technically you yourself. So self-reflection. Maybe resting, not resting, self-introspection. Yeah, that is the activity of a friend star. Okay, now rock wealth on the other hand, it's more of a mutual benefit deal. Whenever this person comes to you, it's always like there's a deal making, meaning to say, okay, I help you this, what can you give me? So it's always a two-way thing. Yeah, rock wealth is also more competitive. Friend stars are not that competitive. Rock wealth is more that competitive. So any activity that triggers certain form of adrenaline rush. Okay, so competitive sports. That's why if your rock wealth is your structure, please go and play sports. It will help you to clear a lot of things in your life. You will become much clearer. Okay, much clearer. A lot of problems will tend to go away because you release everything to the sports. So that is rock wealth. Okay, you get more clarity through sports. So rock wealth is more adrenaline rush. Competitive sports is one of the best thing rock wealth can do. Okay, now wealth on the other hand, it's doesn't matter direct wealth or indirect wealth. These two, it's all about an outcome. It's all about reward. What am I going to get at the end of the day? So I like to use this very often because I do get a lot of wealth structured clients. Okay, because it's also the kind of things that I do. I'm also quite well structured person. So wealth structure means what? When it is you, how you want to activate it. Say example, the direct wealth. So basically, if you are a direct wealth person, and if you are facing certain form of, say, I need to decide on something, you need to decide on something. So come in and see, oh, structure. I see wealth structure, very easy. I need to ask this question. Do you have a pros and cons list? So direct wealth, a best way to solve their problem is to draft out a pros and cons list. Then they can get clarity. Because at the end of the day, it's about what they would get out of something. So you make them do a pros and cons list. So I would ask, which one has better, things for you? Then it will help them to decide better because it's a direct wealth structure. Okay, so in a way, what I'm doing as a consultant is also consulting my client that suits their style because they are well structured. So you need to ask the right question, right? Maybe direct wealth is also very good at doing a SWOT analysis on the situation. Yeah, because they whenever they do this kind of stuff, they get a lot of clarity because they know, oh, this and this. So it helps them in terms of clarity. Direct wealth, if you want to solve a certain issue, again, you see what is the long-term and short-term benefit. Maybe you draw a table or something. Yeah. So these are something very useful for direct wealth, because at the end of the day, direct wealth, it's all about values. Yeah. It's about don't waste my time. It's about efficiency driven. So if they can consciously, they know their direct wealth, you know your direct wealth, you make a certain decision based on how you function. It's so easy. No sweat, no need to no need to struggle too much. Yeah. So a lot of times all you need to do is see what outcome you need, see what outcome will this situation bring you, then you can make a decision. Very simple. Direct wealth is one of the simplest stuff to deal with. Okay. Now, indirect wealth, on the other hand, it's also about reward system, but it's more about the dream. It's more about the vision. It's about the bigger picture. Okay. So, example, what I would ask, to help the client. What is their long-term goals? What is their long-term value? So most of the time, indirect wealth, right? They think about accumulating high value, and then they sell. Like example, a company. The reason why they want to set up a company is to increase the value so that they can sell it off. So I encounter one situation where a client doesn't know what they need to do, or don't know how to make a decision. So the client is a whole indirect wealth chart. It's a startup company. Apparently, the company has gained a lot of traction from investors, and she was thinking to either sell it off, or maybe she wants to continue to run the business. Then I asked her one thing: what is your long-term vision? What is the main reason why you started the company? Because an indirect wealth person, they would have a vision. So her initial vision, and she tell me that her initial vision was to bring up the company to a certain value, yeah, so that she can sell it off, and she start another new one. Okay, so that's her purpose actually, why she start, and she managed to do it, right? So when I tell her that, immediately she knew what she wanted. So it's basically facilitating her, right, to the right direction of how she can think something. Yeah, because indirect, at the end of the day, I'm not here to tell the client, or you are not here to tell your client. So it's you must know what you want, and see things. Like I tell her this, and then she now, oh yes, or this is what I wanted all the while. So we just facilitate. At the end of the day, the decision is on you, which one you want. Okay. So again, remember I say sometimes it's not about getting the immediate answer, but you get clearer. Clarity. What does clarity mean at the end of the day? Okay, clarity sometimes means you just don't make any decision now. It's also possible. Okay, but at the end of the day, indirect wealth activation, it's all about thinking the long term. So if you're confused right now, okay, think about long term. Think about long term. Okay, so indirect wealth is all about like that. Okay, now later I'm going to give one example some more. Now, output. Okay, output structure. Output is basically an expressive star. Doesn't matter if it's the eating god or the hurting officer. Doesn't matter. Yeah, but both are expressive. They just express in different ways. Yeah, so eating god, the ways to find clarity, I would say usually it comes through writing. And it helps many people. It's not just for eating god, but those who are eating god, you better write. You better write something or draw something with a pen, right? Because why? It helps you to release. So if you're an output person, and if you don't have an outlet to release, everything is stuck inside. Bottom line is, okay? So eating God generally is writing. Eating God is also about indulging, enjoying good food. Is a foodie. Okay? Eating God is also about curiosity. It's about hobbies, liking to do things. Okay? Eating God, in fact, for a woman, is a kid, a child. So possibly clarity can get from the children because of the kid. Okay, so a lot of times we use that as a technique to help people to find clarity. Okay, so hurting officer, instead of writing, you talk about it, but just be careful. Don't be too aggressive. Like sometimes how talking can turn out to be a fight. Yeah. So that is when, again, the hurting officer is affected, maybe a clash or some quality problem. So a hurting officer, instead of articulating it in a good way, it becomes a fight or a big, big debate. Okay? But at the end of the day, if you are a hurting officer, please use your voice. Your voice. Speak up. Okay? Got to use your voice. Okay? This way is also a very good way to, whenever you're upset or whenever you're not happy, expressing out is the best way. Some people they like writing more. Usually it's the eating God people. They like to write to express. Some people is better in speaking. Yeah, it's better in speaking. I prefer to write because because my hurting officer got a clash, so I will get into fights if I say something. So I prefer to write. My eating God is clean. My eating God has no issues on. So my writing won't cause problems for me. So I have both. I prefer to write more. Okay, but I do not write well. But who cares? Okay, so that's how we use it. Bottom line. So we just express things. Now, give an example. Okay, look at this chart, for example. Again, this is a eating God chart. Okay, the structure is eating God. So honestly, sometimes food can cure a lot of things. Food can help this person. Yeah. So you probably gotta ask. I think this person probably enjoys a lot of food, or have certain food that will help the person. So eating God is also about eating. So perhaps anything wrong, go and eat first. Okay, probably make them feel better. Okay. Now another layer. Remember earlier on how we say now eating. See another technique is you see on top. Okay, you see on top here. Yeah, indirect wealth. Meaning to say, eating God food is already expensive. This one is even more expensive because got indirect wealth. So we know that, wow, this fella like expensive food, and it's a very expensive food. So when it's emotional, this person will just pay very expensively without thinking about the price. Okay, so never mind, that person will do that. Okay, so activate that, enjoy the food, bring this person to a very nice high-end food, possibly. Okay, yeah. So how do we see it? We see through the whole pillar example. Okay, we see through the whole pillar. Now, another layer we can play. Okay, possibly, we need to always ask the client, but because these are just multiple different techniques. Now, eating God is here. The eating God comes with a tiger. Tiger is what? Traveling star. Oh, I'm writing. Okay, traveling star. So you know, possibly an eating God that comes with the traveling star, possibly this person would love to travel because of food. Possibly it's not a local food. Possibly it's a food that is from outside. So this person don't mind traveling because of food. Okay, and this will make him happy, make her happy. I don't remember who is this, but yeah. Okay, so this one can help. Okay, can help traveling because it's a traveling star, movements. Yeah, so we can also use the intrinsic nature of the branch to bring in some idea about the eating God. So that's why every eating God is different because they come with different elements. So that is also another layer. Okay, so I cannot say a Keng eating God, okay, and a Jia eating God is the same because they are different. Okay, so this is also something that we will go through in our class. Okay, so there are differences in everything. So these are just, again, different techniques. Okay, so this is mainly on it's a technical side. Okay, now influence star. Okay, influence star. So it doesn't matter again, direct officer or 7 killings. Okay, direct officer or 7 killings, right? So both itself, the keyword is almost the same here: discipline, personal power, and decision making. So the influence star, it's all about making decisions. It's all about making decisions. But again, direct officer is a little bit different than 7K. Direct officer, basically, if you want to say gain that clarity, use the direct officer means what? get your thoughts sorted out. I'm a direct officer. I function like a direct officer. Before this, I think this question was when I had this question yesterday, I think. Yeah, something during one of my consults. One of my clients was asking me, do you actually know that you're a direct officer before this? I don't know, of course, but I like things to be in order, because direct officer is about being in order. So I always like it. I always like to buy containers just to keep something. I don't like to see messy things because I get very frustrated in my head. So and I was thinking, maybe I got OCD or something. But the idea is because I'm just a direct officer. So now that I'm conscious about it, wow, a lot of things is very direct officer for me. So in order for me to, whenever I get very messy in my thoughts, I will need to structure it. So that itself gives me a lot of clarity. So because everything is all jumbled up, and that is how actually I learned bazi on my own. Yeah, meaning to say, I got all the information. I put everything out, everything. Yeah, I take many hours, many years to organize the information so that I see everything by structure. So once that is the structure, I take a print screen and put it in my head. That's it. So that is how actually I see the whole thing. So it's very organized in my brain. Okay, so that is my kind of thing because it is my structure. Okay, this is my structure. So if you're a direct officer as well, you want to consciously use it. So the difference is this, when you consciously use it, any other things is also using the direct officer. Whenever you face certain problems, you use direct officer. That's the most important thing. Okay, now it's all about the system. Yeah, so direct officer, it's more of a system, it's more of a process, but not much of an outcome. Okay, because I think sometimes people might get a bit confused in terms of direct officer and direct wealth. Direct wealth is more doing something because they want to achieve something. Direct officer is because so that their process go well. They are organized in that process. Okay, so that is very fulfilling for a direct officer. Okay, now salmon killing is a bit different. Salmon killing is way more aggressive than a direct officer. Okay, which also means, salmon killing also means discipline, but salmon killings it's more aggressive, more risky. It takes certain risk, yeah, more risk, more aggressive. So sometimes it's about also bringing up the adrenaline. Okay, going into the fire pit without knowing what's next, taking risk. Oh, and I can tell you this thing, yes, it will bring some clarity to people. Say example, yeah, like for my case, I don't have a salmon killing in my chart, naturally. I started my salmon killings this year, right, at my luck pillar. Okay, I was never into martial arts, yeah, but I took the conscious step to take martial arts on a salmon killing year, on a salmon killing luck pillar, basically. Okay, so this one, again, what I'm doing, I'm activating the luck pillar. Yeah, I'm activating the luck pillar. Okay, so I'm just going with the luck pillar, basically. Okay, so if you are a salmon killing structure, activate it as well. So make sure you have something that is salmon killings, right, to do in your life, basically. Okay, that can help you a lot of things. All right, so give it example. For this one, I want to focus on indirect wealth. Okay, I want to focus on indirect wealth, right? So basically for this one, yeah, just look at the luck pillar. Okay, so let's ignore this one because this is a salmon killing, right? So the salmon killing, like I said, okay, go more aggressive sports, need to take a bit of risk every now and then it's activating it, taking a leap of faith, just go and jump, discipline and things like that. So that is a salmon killing. Now, on top of this, okay, the luck pillar, again, the luck pillar represents the present energy, right? Okay, so again, you want to activate this one as well. So you want to align yourself with the luck pillar, all right? So this is also a new New luck pillar, 2024 just came in. Okay, say example. I'm just giving example. Okay, all right. I'm just giving an example. Okay, so say this person is going through example, going through a career change. Yeah, going through a career change. Don't know what to do. Okay, don't know what to do. Yeah, so what would possibly the best way? I will ask this question. Oh, long-term wise, what do you see? What's your vision? What's your long-term? What do you want long-term? Okay, what do you want long-term? Yeah, right? Why? I'm just tapping on the indirect wealth. Okay, I'm tapping on the indirect wealth. Okay, so probably the person could get some clarity if this person starts to think about the big picture. Indirect wealth. They may not know the answer yet if it's new luck pillar, but the energy is forcing the chart or the person, to think in a bigger picture. Meaning to say long-term values. Yeah, long-term values. What's your vision? Okay. Now another one is the indirect resource. Okay, can tap into it as well. Meaning to say spiritual work, unconventional way, unconventional teachings, unconventional learnings, and things like that. Okay, so during this time, a lot of clarity will come in because of indirect wealth and indirect resource if this person starts thinking this way. Okay, so this process, this process is actually doing what? What was I doing all this while? I was just going with the flow of the chart. Yeah, whatever we choose to activate, okay, is just the energy of the chart at that time during that luck pillar. Okay, right? Okay, so this is actually just unlocking it, activating it. We're allowing the chi to flow. That's it. So again, activating means what? Doing it in real life. So honestly, to look at the chart is very easy. We pinpoint only, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. But in reality, it's about doing it. Okay? So whenever we start doing it, that is where the real problem happens. Okay? Why is that so? Okay? Why is that so? Right? Because it's normal that we will face chaos and confusion. It's normal. Okay? So whenever we see, like just now we were also talking about it. Yeah, it's you just activate it, but what if it's negative? What if it's clash? What if it's this? Yeah, you will, whenever there is certain compromise in terms of the quality, you will face some challenges. And that is where step three happens. Okay, so step 3 happens means what? I want to do it, but I hate it, but I'm facing so many challenges. So that is when step 3, you want to start unlocking it. You want to break it. Okay, but remember the reason why this must come in step 3, because you have to do it first before you go and unlock it. Many times when we are so focusing to break the problem, when we haven't even faced the problem, there's nothing to break. So many times we haven't even had the problem, we can try to break the problem. Technically, we are not breaking anything. So we have to do step 2 first before step 3, because without step 2, we probably won't understand step 3. Okay, so again, the goal here is to smoothen the chi flow with actions. Yeah. So and using whatever techniques are, like I mentioned here. There are many, many techniques, okay, and it will take a long time to actually go through that, okay? So, which is, I think in the module 2, this is where we're going to cover, module 2, okay? Now, very quickly, yeah, okay, very quickly. Okay, bye, some of you guys are leaving. Okay, so very quickly, I'm just going to show you guys. Obstacles and limitations will present in 2 ways. 2 ways, yeah. One, clashes, the uncomfortable way, the way that people get, clashes and punishment, etc., right? And the gangs. Now, the other one, it's the combination, yeah. So usually combination, it's a nice way of saying no to you, yeah. It will happen, but okay, something happens later on, okay. So please do not also think that whenever it's a combination means it's going to have no problem, yeah. I've seen many times combination create divorce, create illnesses, create family disharmony, you know. I've seen it before many times, okay. So sometimes limitations and obstacles and challenges, they come with a combination, okay. So please understand that. All right, so very quickly, okay, I'm just going to show a few things, right, which is the interaction part, whereby we are going to cover it as well, right? So this is mostly in module 1, okay? This is mostly in module 1, right? So these are basically the clashes and the buddies, okay, the friends, okay, clashes, right? So these are basically the clashes. What you need to know in here, okay, the reason why they are clashing. That's it. Yeah, the reason why they are clashing. So all clashes happen for a reason. So I think in my previous webinar, I've already went through that. Okay, so this is just a recap. All branches, whenever they clash, they are clashing because inside is clashing. The hidden stems are clashing. They'll be like, oh, okay, it's not because the tiger fight the monkey. It's nothing to do with the animals. It's everything to do with the elements that's inside the animals. So they are clashing. So whenever they are clashing, what happened? The chi fights, right? Whenever chi fights, that is when chi flow got disrupted. So that is when confusion happened. Okay, normal, frustration, emotional, la la la, everything come out. Okay, so because the interactions in every animal science are different, therefore the impact of every animal science are different. Okay, the impact. Okay, meaning to say every animal sign has a different meaning. Say example, this year, dog and dragon. Dog and dragon is very common in terms of hidden opportunities and also illnesses. Illnesses that was buried under will appear. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's about illnesses. Next year is the snake and pig clash. So the snake and the pig clash is actually a ren and a peng clash. Ren and a peng counter, sorry. Okay, ren counter. So it means magnifying. Magnifying means drama, dramatic. Okay, something small, it will make it big. Okay, so which also reflects in real life, or people like to talk about it. Small things, people like to spread. That's why it translates to rumors and gossips. Because people just like to make a fuss out of it when it's something small. Okay, so snake and pig clash is also known as the gossip clash. Okay, so everything could mean different clash means differently because of different elements are involved. Okay, now solution here is what? Because we are looking into dissolving the clash. So this is also something that we will touch in the module 1, how to dissolve the interactions. Okay, in here, my strategy is very simple actually, right? You understand the underlying cause. Once you understand that, okay, you balance it out. Simple as that. Because clash is very simple. Remember, energy is trying to do what? Find its balance. So if you introduce a new element in the chart, okay, that helps to find the balance, right? and you introduce the new element to the chart through actions, okay, then the energy will move. The chi will flow. When the chi will flow, okay, then everything will go accordingly. Yeah, so that's what we mean by dissolving the clash. Okay, dissolving the clash. Now, another example, just to share with you guys. Now, harm. You know what harm means? You know what harm actually means? Okay, so say example, say this year, okay, okay, this year is a dog and dragon clash. Yeah, so okay, so why I start with clash? There's a reason, because the harm always likes to interfere the clash. So that is how harm actually happens. So when the clash of dog and dragon comes in, they're fighting, right? Okay, this extra branch wants to come in to salvage the situation. Meaning what they will do, Miss Rabbit, the mouse, will come into the picture and combine away the dog. As a result, now the dragon will be harmed with the rabbit. All harms happen because a third party comes and interfere to break the clash. So the third party comes in, as a result, it will harm the original clash. Okay, so what does this mean by real life? Okay, meaning to say, usually all harms involve certain form of relationship problem. Why? Interference. So that is the reason why all harms, okay, should involve human one. Confirm. That is why harm is technically something which is emotional. Okay, because it involves human. It affects the harmony, it affects a relationship. Okay, so that is the reason why harm is more emotional. Unlike clash, it's just a one-time bam, settle, change. Okay, so harm is more emotional because it involves relationship, complicated relationship animals come in. Okay, so this is the problem. So if you understand this concept, all right, then okay, you'll be able, right, you'll be able to overcome it. So technically what it also means, if you have a harm in your natal chart, please focus more on how you are dealing with relationship. Yeah, relationship is usually an issue. When I mean by relationship is an issue, doesn't mean you fight with people all the time. You could have the best relationship with people, but a lot of your emotional struggles are due to certain people in your life. Okay, so a lot of emotional being stuck is around there. Always about people, always. Okay, so that is their struggles. Okay, usually we will see typical symptom of people pleasing lah, feeling sad because people leaving them lah. It's always about people. Always about that. Okay, typical harm problem. Okay, now this is just an example, right? Because I cannot go through everything, it's too much and no time already. Right, so let me touch through these combinations. So technically we're going to go through every single bit. Yeah, we're going to go through all the interactions because now I dedicate like 2 full days, 2 days just on interactions. So we will find enough time to play with the interactions. Now, combination example. Okay, now these two are the combination. So combinations can represent new opportunities and or all problems if it's not handled well. Okay, something may appear, congratulations, but if you're not ready, if you are too weak to handle, right, this could turn out to be stress. So problems. Now, second one, another problem, okay, When it comes too strong, like this combination too strong, then it's not favorable, then the chart cannot handle. That's where combination will have a problem and it will create chaos or confusion in the chart. Now, another problem is when the important element is being combined away. Meaning to say, assuming whatever it is in the chart, the sin metal is a very important element for you. Maybe it's your useful god. Okay, and yes, we are going to touch useful god in the module 2. Okay, maybe it's a useful god. Okay, now, sin metal is a useful god. Imagine if the paint comes in to combine and if they produce a water problem. Yeah, we don't like useful gods, very important gods. Maybe the only sin problem is when it's the only sin metal in the chart combined away. Means it's taken away, transformed, meaning the chart no longer has sin metal. Yeah, that would create problem. Okay, so again, this is another technique. So you can see here in terms of interaction, we also got a bit of technique application inside. Okay, so it depends what kind of situation, but this is possible. Very often, sometimes money related, like money is stuck somewhere. Yeah, maybe the money has dissolved into the water. Yeah, because maybe for a Peng Fire Day Master, the sin metal is a wealth and water is a officer. So maybe combine and release water, meaning to say your money has transformed into something else, you lose the money. Okay, it doesn't matter how the sequence comes. But bottom line is, you can combine away something. So there are many techniques to use it. Okay, so it depends on what you're trying to achieve. So again, advanced application. Okay, now which is module 2, we're going to play module 2. Okay, right now, so what I was trying to do earlier on, okay, okay, is creating a smooth chi flow in a bazi chart. That's it. Yeah, that's it. So everything is about chi flow. So for those who learn feng shui, everything is just about chi flow at the end of the day. Right? Everything about chi. Because everything in metaphysics is about chi management. So now the concept of solving a problem is creating a smooth chi flow. And how you create the smooth chi flow? You introduce elements inside. When you introduce elements inside, you do something or you bring in something, right? You need to do it through actions. Meaning in real life, you do it through actions. Okay, you translate whatever elements that is you throw inside, you translate it in real life as an action. And then you solve the problem. So that is the whole concept of problem solving. It's actually a very simple concept. Like I said, the moment you understand yin and yang, the foundation, you would see that, everything is just about managing the chi at the end of the day. Put it in here and there, push here and there, cover here and there, take it away, put it in, hold it on. Yeah, there's a lot of techniques to play with it. Okay, so over time, of course, when you see more charts, when we practice more charts, there are more chances to play about with different techniques, because sometimes not all charts can apply techniques. Sometimes very simple. Sometimes the challenging one is where, I really like the challenging one. That's when we crack our head. Like, okay, how can we deal with this? Things like that. So that's the challenging one. So we see what technique we can apply or deploy in the chart. Okay, and then use that as a solution in real life. So that is basically it. Yeah, that is basically it. Okay, right? That's basically it. Simple? Yes? Simple, right? So these are basically my my masterclass format. Yeah, so we'll touch base a lot on technical. Yeah, so of course, I didn't show you guys in a step 1, 2, and 3 format because I jumble all up together just so that I can show different applications. Yeah, as you can see, there are many ways to skin a cat, right? And all why I choose the topic confusion, because most problems happens because of confusion of cheat. So it's a general meaning that I can use to solve a lot of problems and to showcase what I can present in the masterclass. Okay. If that definitely, so the masterclass there is definitely a recording, and I would advise you to go through the recording, because if you are, I would definitely advise you to go through recording, yeah, because it's very important to practice. It's very important to practice, and even today I still need to practice a lot, and I still love to practice. So I would encourage you to attend the recording even after you attend the live session, because sometimes one time you hear, you don't understand. Second time you hear, you will get it. So it's a lot of repetitive, right? It's a lot of repetitive. Okay, so it really comes with a lot of practice. Okay, so now I will just conclude here. What have we covered so far? Okay, so what have we covered so far is more on the first part is more on the philosophical side. Okay, so in any form of application or metaphysics, I would just say, not just parts, right? First thing you need to do is overcome the mindset. That's it. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is about activation. Activation of what? Action, true actions. And I would say the easiest, most fundamental way, day master. If you're advanced, feel free to use the day pillar, right? And then structure, and then luck pillar. Again, what is this doing? It is riding on the wave, riding on the time, riding on the chart. This is literally what it means by going with the flow consciously. Okay, so if you are confused, right? Normal, because maybe there's a clash there or something, right? Okay. So now you consciously step 2 first, ignore the limitation, ignore the clash first. You do this first, then you face challenges. After you face challenges, then you can overcome them. Okay, so in between activation, again, there are multiple techniques that can be applied. Okay, use whatever is available. After that, only you start understand what is the cause of the limitation. Why are you struggling trying to activate certain things? And by understanding the struggles and how you are actually facing the problem, the technical aspect, then you can break it down. Break it. Yeah, by again, multiple techniques, introduce new elements, taking away elements, combining away, destruct away. There are few ways to do it, basically. Okay, so we went through actually this process. It may seem like it's just a few points, but the details are multiple angles to go through. Okay, at the end of the day, guys, this is a masterclass. Okay, so masterclass means what? It's advanced techniques. Okay, it's advanced techniques. Yeah. So of course, not to worry about it. Is this a beginner friendly? The answer is yes, because you will know that there will be a pre-session where we will cover the foundations of everything first. So just to make sure, and again, if you're not sure with anything or whatsoever, always can ask there's no issue with that. Okay, and we would have a private group where you can always ask questions there, and questions can be answered immediately from the group. Okay, so learning doesn't stop. Learning doesn't only happen in the class. So as and when, because there will be a group where everybody is going to be inside. Okay, so basically those are what I'm covering in the masterclass. Okay, and it's quite a comprehensive module. For those who knows, I don't think I did my foundation this year. So everything will be lumped into one masterclass. So it's going to be quite a long series, right? And I'm going to split it to 2 months to do it. 2 months to do it. Okay, one is going to be on September and one is going to be on October. Okay, so just to share with you, if you want the breakdown of the module, it's going to turn out this way. Of course, introduction first. So this is the M1. The module 1 is about interactions. So interactions, again, you definitely have to touch 10 gods. We will be going through 10 gods, okay? And then we're going to touch advanced interactions between 5 elements, okay? Something that I never touch here, but there is a way to look at advanced, and basically this is also one of the techniques that we can apply, okay? Advanced interactions between 5 elements. We deep dive into each interactions, yeah? So from the clashes up to the punishments, okay? And we're gonna go and study the 10 gods inside, right? So we're gonna study also the forecasting interaction methods, meaning to say, when this interaction A and B happens, okay? The 10 gods that is underneath that, what is it? Okay, what is it? The potential to happen. I cannot, okay, this is the biggest problem, yeah, because I experienced this before. I cannot pinpoint exactly one because 10 gods are so big, but we have to understand the concept. So in the forecasting interaction method, we're going to touch mainly concept and then we're going to do practical exercises, okay? Because there are so many things that represents 10 gods. Anything can be 10 gods. So we need to have context, okay? But what's most important is to understand how to do it and around what you can gauge. Yeah, around what you can gauge, because depending on the 10 gods. Now, the next one is dissolving interactions. So, what we mentioned is now introduce a new element, take away the element. So, how can we dissolve the clashes, the harms, and destructions and punishments and stuff? Okay, so dissolving interactions. Now, the next one is practical charts. So practical charts and exercises, I reckon it will be in between every session. So I won't leave until the very end. So it depends on how the course flow is going to be. But module 1 is technically going to be like that. Okay, normal price, this is, oh gosh, this is a 2-day session. 2-day session. I think it's going to be on, I don't know why the dates are not here, but this session is going to be on September. Okay, yeah, you see, I even forget when is the date, but it's going to be on September. I myself is confused now because I have many other events coming up. Okay, so this one, yes. So wait, this one, let me see. I got confused even my own dates. Okay, I found it. Okay, so module 1. So some of you guys may not want module 1, so it's fine because some of you guys may already know this. So 7 to 8 of September. Yeah, I don't know why what is missing, but this module 1 is 7 and 8 of September. Okay, it's a weekend. And it's a 1 p.m. to 4 to 5 p.m. session, okay, around there. So if you know my style, we usually will break the timing and we will go forward, but it depends how damaged are we in the brain form, okay? So let's see, all right? But it's around this time, so my timing usually is quite flexible, but we will start around this time. If needed to add extra hours, I will let you guys know. But this one, for this 2 days class, normal price is 800 ringgit. Okay, 800 ringgit. This time I'm taking all the ringgit. I'm not taking US dollar this year. Okay, now for this early bird session, okay, if you enroll now, okay, you're gonna get it only for 600 ringgit for these 2 days. 600 ringgit for these 2 days. 138 USD approximately for these 2 days. Okay, right around this. And yes, we're going to be covering combinations as well. So combinations are part of interactions because they will affect the chart as well. Yeah, they will affect the chart as well. Okay, so it's going to be these two, right? Can you ask about your own chart? Yes, you can ask about your own chart. That is, so in module 1, most likely my experience is we probably wouldn't have time for own chart. So in module 1, most likely I wouldn't be able to take real submission charts. Okay, so module 1 don't have a real submission chart. Okay, so that will be on module 2. Right, so module 2, of course, I'm going to start off with a refresher. So for those who don't want only one module 1, you can just take module 1. For those who want module 2, you can also take just module 2. So there's flexibility here. All right, so module 2 refresher first, Q&A lah, huh? Okay, you're going to open the floor, and then after that I'm going to go through different schools methods. Okay, so this one, module 2, is a bit more advanced. Okay, so probably is a bit more beyond technical level. It's about the schools, it's about the poem, classics and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm just going to introduce some of the elements to you guys so you can have a bigger picture of where this whole thing actually comes from. And then I'm going to touch base on 12 growth phases and how you can see your chart using 12 growth phases methods. Okay, also we're going to talk about the Yongsan, the useful God, and also the implications. Okay, I think there are a few charts that I can show as well. You know, yeah, this is quite interesting because useful God, sometimes I know it's a classical way of seeing things. I think in certain application, useful gods are very important. Vulnerable charts, useful gods are very important. For non-vulnerable charts, I think it's not that important. There are certain charts that are extremely vulnerable. Very easily, the useful god will be taken away. So usually when useful god will be taken away, really very bad things will happen. Yeah, so sometimes it will involve life and death problem. Okay, so useful gods as well, I'm going to go through. Fu Yin, Fan Yin, DE, Oxstar, Shifting Palace. So these are the techniques, okay, little techniques, okay. On top of that, I will also talk about dealing with extreme charts and missing elements, okay. I thought about this. I think probably I can put in. I hope, I want to bring in, I want to have a discussion with you guys about it also. Okay, so please do understand because module 2 is an advanced section, so there's a lot of discussion mode. So I do encourage a lot more of questions, a lot more of challenging certain statements and stuff like that, which is healthy because it's going to spark discussions. Okay, so now the last part here, if we got time, we're going to talk about techniques for consultations, right? And also case studies, real chart submission. So for module 2, I will take in real chart submission because module 2 is a bit more sophisticated level. Okay, so this one I will take more. So you can see, although it looks like it's what, but actually I would split about two and a half days or 2 days on technical, maybe another 2 days focused purely on case studies. So this module 2 will be a 4-day session. Yeah, module 2 will be a 4-day session, and this is usually what I teach in my mastery session. Yeah, so this is a 4 days class, guys. It's a huge module. This year, because I didn't have time to do it, so I combine everything at one go. Okay, and because we are coming end of the year already, so I combine everything. So I split the syllabus this way, right? Now, this one, the deal is this is mostly focused on techniques, yeah, on techniques, right? Now, this one, for 4 days, this one is a very good deal, right? I put only 1,002 for normal price. Today, if you sign up, okay, it's 888. Okay, comparatively, if you ask me, module 1 is way more expensive than module 2. I can tell you that. But maybe more people would like module 1 because it's easier. Module 2 is, I would say, if you want to challenge yourself, okay, module 2 is more sophisticated. Yeah, it's more sophisticated. And honestly, to me, it's also a lesser job. Yeah, honestly, to me, it's lesser because it's a lot of case studies. So I will not prepare a lot of slides. Yeah, module 1, probably, yeah, I will prepare more slides. But this one is mainly, I would encourage more case studies, that we're going to do more case studies. I prefer more flexible method. Okay, so, well, it depends on see how the crowd control is. But basically this is a technique. So you can choose either one of these. So when is the early bird? Wait, sorry. When is the date for this? This is going to be on October. Yeah. So last time this class itself, this module, I sell for about 2,800 plus. Yeah. So this year I have to combine everything and quickly just squeeze it out. Okay. So this class is going to be on October when? Okay, October 5th to 6th and 12 to 13 October. All classes will be on the weekend. Yes, it's going to split into 2 weekends. Why? I don't want any brain damage. Okay, I don't want any brain damage. Yeah, because I can tell you for those who were in my class the last time, right? You know how sometimes after class your head will get like that because we go too deep into it, right? Because it's very technical. So those who want to dive into technical part, yeah, so you will probably enjoy module 2. So if you like technical modules, you can really take this up. Okay. Now, probably can help to fill out some gaps. And I don't know where your gap is, so probably this can help. Okay. So now, I would encourage to take the bundle package. Okay, to take the bundle package, right? Bundle package. Okay. Yeah. This is the early bird price at this point. Okay, so it's going to be split to September and October. September and October, yeah. And this one, okay, is basically the 2 modules together, combined. 2 modules together. Very good deal, very great offer. And this is only going to be until the end of this month. Okay, so by 31st of August, yeah, don't have this price anymore. So again, this price is 1388. So it's about 318 US dollar. Okay, for this, it's a steal, right? So is there any other bonuses? The answer is yes, because again, I want to establish a certain foundation. So there will be a pre-session course. And I can tell you this price, I will not go at this price because usually this is my alumni price. This pricing that I'm giving you guys now is actually for my existing students. Yeah. The reason why this year I don't plan to do that because number one, this is my second bazi class that I teach for the year. Second or third bazi class. I don't usually teach that little because this year I do not have the time. So, and it's a 加成 year, and I understand that times are really bad nowadays. Okay, so I get a lot of emails about alumni got special pricing or not. I'm gonna get back to you on that. Don't worry. Okay, but everyone who signed up today, okay, on the early bird price, right? On top of the 1388, you also get a pre-session. A pre-session is gonna happen on the 3rd of September. So it's a basic technical. It's going to help you to enhance certain foundation. Example, things like, okay, whether you're a strong or weak day master. We're going to answer and deal with that before the class. Okay, let's not deal. I don't want to deal with it during the class because that is past. We're going to focus mainly on interactions and techniques only. The rest, we don't want to touch, meaning to say, how do you get that 10 gods? How do you get this? How do you know? We don't want to touch that anymore. Okay, this will happen in the basic technical class, and there's a Q&A as well. So feel free to just throw any questions in this pre-session class. Okay, so this will be the 3rd of September. Okay, so now for those who, well, I would know this problem will happen. Those people who enroll after this date, will they still get it? Yes, you will still get it. Okay, but you will not attend the live session, you will get the recording session because I believe some people will start to enroll module 2 later. They will still get this. They will still get it later. Okay, but it's just the recorded version. It's very different. Now, again, do you hear alumni price? Okay, now, so is this for you? Well, it may not be. Okay, it may not be for everyone as well. All right, because if you are very keen, because guys, I named this the master class for a reason. It is a master class, meaning to say when you want to gain more depth, more depth. Okay, so if you want to develop a special skill, and possibly if you're confident enough, you're good enough, okay, you probably can use it as another gig as well, right? I wouldn't say that everyone should do that. It depends on how well you can do it. Yeah. Of course, there needs to be some level of integrity as well. So it doesn't mean you enter a masterclass, meaning you can just do a reading for people. Again, you need to practice. It's very important, right? Um, and of course, if you want to use it for your own chart reading, I would recommend that as well. Statistics are, if you learn by yourself and you manage it yourself and you get advice, chances are changes is easier and faster. Okay, so it's easier that way, right? Now, you will really enjoy these sessions, yeah, if you like a more direct officer structured way. So I don't often go off the course unless I have to, but I'm more structured, more step-by-step basis. Okay, so you gotta be more patient with me. Okay, now also, I'm the type that I like to teach concepts. Why? Because concepts may seem very vague. Yes, I do get that, by the way. But concept also allow us to start learning by ourselves. I do not encourage to just give you the fish. I encourage you to learn how to fish. So if I give you just the answer, I don't explain to you how I get the answer, you're going to be forever just stuck at that. So you will not be able to extrapolate and open up your mind on how certain things happen. So there's a lot of limitations in that. So a lot of my teachings are very conceptual. Once you understand the concept, you can apply it very easy. I think you would also like it because we are using real case scenarios. So for those who take module 2 and the package, you will be able to enjoy the real scenario and chart submissions. Yeah. Of course, I always like to take different charts, like more drama cases and stuff. So you will receive an email where I will ask you to submit charts in. Okay, so that will come later if you enroll. Okay, now for alumni, right? So what is new? Okay, I would say I got these few emails. I also replied for some of you guys. For alumni, new teaching style, definitely. Well, I think teaching style is still direct officer, but I would say it's an improved version because definitely each time I'll find ways to express certain techniques better, right? Also, I've introduced some of the new techniques, yeah, in an application in module 2, as you can see. Yes, okay, I've done that because there's new application. And sorry, no alumni discount this year because the whole thing is actually the whole session is actually already an alumni price. Okay, this pricing again, like I say, it's an alumni pricing for everyone now today if you sign up now. Okay, so for those alumni, I'm sorry, don't have, but you will get something else. Okay, so please await for my email. Okay, please await for my email. All right, because the pricing is still the same, but I will give you guys something else. Okay, I will give you guys something else. All right, so please take note of that. All right. So again, if you're wondering why do you need this, honestly, I never look at it this way until this year. Because I always thought that I'm using bazi as a form of strategy, application, and things like that. But now that we are in period 9, I feel that it's even more important because it's so scary that everything out there is so fake or say overwhelming, and there's a lot of societal expectations and pressure, and I would say a lot of identity crisis as well. There's a lot of blurring lines of reality as well, anxiety heightened, very overwhelming basically. And I think the bazi chart helps us to ground, yeah, by learning bazi. Why? Because it's about introspection. It's about getting to know yourself better. Yeah, it's about getting to know yourself better. Okay, so I think this is extremely relevant, especially moving on from like 20 years from now. Like this year, I'm not sure whether you guys feel it, it's already extremely overwhelming. Yeah, until I got no time to actually teach whatever that is on my list to teach this year. I really wanted to do a lot of things, but I didn't have the time. That's why I compiled everything to now. So only then I realized that, wow, it's actually very important, because this whole topic actually helps me. As much as you guys are learning, I'm also learning a lot, because every time I teach, I'm grounding myself back down again. So it actually helps me to ground myself again, you know, because I'm learning about myself, I'm learning about the charts, I'm learning about all this wisdom. So I think it's extremely important. Over time, the only thing that is original is us, is our bazi. So this gives us a good guidance, I would say. Yeah. So I think learning not only bazi, by the way, any form of metaphysical arts, I would say. Yeah, but bazi is just one of my passion. That's it. Okay. So guys, at the end of the day, this is the big picture. So you have the options, okay, to choose, right? To choose either one of it, module 1, module 2, or bundle pack, either one. Okay, so you can choose either one, right? And these are the syllabus of it. Okay, so Hope can write on period 9. For those who attend my period 9 course, yeah, okay, now here is the sign up link, by the way. What are the perks for alumni? Alumni always get very good prizes. How to become alumni? Okay, wait. Okay, so here are the links, okay? Right, okay, you guys can put it up here. I spam up first. Let me answer one question after another. The 7, 8, Eileen, 7, 8 September. Yes, correct. Correct. Okay, so Eileen's information is correct. Is the date correct? Okay, wait. October 12th or 13th. Okay, let me check properly, because it's on the weekend. Okay, so all the classes, by the way, it's on the weekend. Yeah, all classes is on the weekend. So October 12th, 13th. Sorry, I'm not sure whether I write. So October 12th, 13th. Okay, so when you enroll, you will receive an email, unless in my email I wrote something wrong. Okay, so upon enrollment, you will receive a confirmation email. Right? I get overwhelmed by seeing a chart. You're not the only one. Good to know that. Will you be sharing? Yes, there will be a step-by-step guide. There will be on the 3rd of September. Okay, when is the payment deadline? So this payment deadline will be, this deal is going to be by 31st of August. Okay. Oh, Trump and Kamala, why not bad? Okay, yes, probably will do so. Yeah, we'll look at case studies as well. So if you guys who enroll got any, I'm looking for also spiritual cult leaders, spiritual teachers and gurus. Yeah, so probably I will, when you guys join, we will have a group to talk about it. So any charts, feel free to throw it out, okay? Because I cannot figure out who else, so I need all your brains and suggestions to look at charts. If just take module 2 will include private group, yes. So you can actually check through the system, the table, right? I think in here, okay? Yeah. So there is, wait so during the private group is only in the bundle package. I'm sorry. Yeah, private group. Okay, but alumni, I'll get back to you. Don't worry. Okay, alumni, I'll get back to you. Don't worry. Okay. So how to become alumni? Alumni are those, technically those who have already taken many classes from me. Does it include technique to see year, get married, divorce, change job, retrench year, how many children? Okay, how many children, or boy or girl? Okay, how many children, I cannot answer you, okay? But boy or girl, I can answer you. Migration year, I also can answer you, okay? So I will not break down these kind of individual topics, but we're going to talk about marriage, relationship as well, definitely. Yeah? Perks of alumni. Alumni has many perks. Okay, hope you can ride on the wave of period 9. Bazi beginner, I need to check. Yeah, I think you are part of alumni. Yeah, so those people who was part of alumni, I will, oh, you'll be traveling, okay. Yes, you become, so usually alumni are those who have taken the big package from me. Yeah, those who take the big package from me. Okay, so basically, yeah, I can't wait to teach this class, which means that I have a lot of things to prepare as well, because this is going to be something, I'm going to incorporate something new lah. All right. So yeah. So okay. So guys, this is it. Yeah. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. So you've seen a bit more on you've seen a bit more. Yes. So if you're taken 3 class, uh, yeah. So most likely yes. Okay. Most likely yes. Okay. So I got a spam here. Okay. Right. Right. So remember, guys, alumni, you get some perks from me, because obviously I cannot offer you the same price because the price is already fixed. Okay, so you will get an email tomorrow from me. All right, but not to worry. The deadline for the sign up is 31st of August. Right. Okay, 31st of August. Okay. Right. So with that, I shall end the session. Okay, any more questions? No questions? Okay, no questions, yeah. Okay, let's see. Right, no questions. Okay, great. Okay, advertise on, can we still pay? Yes, you can. Dave, yes, you can still get, yes, you can still purchase the Bazi Express, yes. Okay, yes, you can watch it online, okay? Right, so let's see. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I'm seeing quite a number of. Will this stay on YouTube? Yes. Okay, right. So for those who are on YouTube and Facebook, okay. Yes, the replay will be on YouTube. All right, not to worry about it. All right, probably I'll slice it up even better. Okay, right. So those who are watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Those who are watching on Facebook, Instagram, okay, thank you very much. And for those who are in Zoom, which plotter? There are many plotters to use. Personally, I like. Personally, I use the Metasoft one, because that's what I use. But there are many other plotters you can use as well. Yeah, I personally use the Metasoft version because that's what I use. Okay, right? So you can use it, but I recommend use that. I think it's okay. Yeah, most plotters are quite accurate today. Right, most plotters are quite accurate today. Okay, so again, feel free to type. Were you Joey Yap? Yes, some time ago, I was there before. For those who know me from that time, you've seen me around. All right, but yeah, I was from there. I was in every of their courses last time. Okay, now graduate already. All right, now graduate. Okay, so with that, thank you very much. I shall say goodbye to the Facebook and YouTube. Okay, Facebook and YouTube, goodbye. And I left the Zoom one. Okay, so